Started at a shoot-around today where you got a bunch of guys that don't know that having a great shoot-around doesn't guarantee a great game, but going through the motions or not paying attention and not being focused guarantees what happens when the game is in the crunch. We got up 14, had the ball. PJ throws a cross-court pass for not what we were trying to do. It's not what we had called. And then Hami fouls intentionally. I didn't do it. You pulled the guy's shirt out of his pants. I didn't do it. You pulled the guy's shirt out of his pants. So don't say that. You did it. All of a sudden, Nick misses a dunk and this and all. It doesn't go right, and all of a sudden you got a bunch of young guys that don't know how to grind it in that situation. You got to stop the bleeding. We go to the foul line late. South Carolina makes every free throw. We're going 1 out of 2, 0 out of every one. You're going to lose the game. And I'm really disappointed, but you know what? You got to give South Carolina credit. They played like Frank coaches. They're down, and it looks like, okay, they're going to get smacked, and they never stopped playing, and then they got the momentum. I was trying to hold back to not call a timeout to get under the 4 because I knew we were going to need it, and I probably should have called one earlier when it got to 6. But, and Silva we did a pretty good job in the first half. The second half, they just said, we're throwing it to him, and my big guy stayed behind him. You won't believe this, and every time out what I was saying. Don't stand behind him. At least get on the side of him so he has to catch it out. We just, we're not there yet. We got, hopefully, I hate to say it, you got to take some losses to get guys to start listening, but what also ends up happening in a game like this, individual players really look like they're not very good players. When you start realizing it, yeah, we're not very good, but you're not very good. You're hurting yourself. Let's get this right. So hopefully we'll move on from here and get this one right.
Cal, had you felt like you were living sort of on the edge of this at the end of games, these last couple games, with some of those meltdowns that didn't come back to bite you?
We weren't up that many points. Like this game was ours. All we had to do was grab it. And no, the other games were throughout the whole game. They were always close, and we were never up big. This was a different situation for them. You're up, okay, finish the game. No, they just, the minute there's an unwarranted arrogance that we get up, we're really good, or I'm really good, and I'm going to do what I'm choosing to do. I'm not going to listen to what you're saying. And that's what happened, and then it started rolling, and all of a sudden we couldn't stop the onslaught. So they deserved to win. This wasn't about us. This was about South Carolina.